Greetings, brave adventurers! FoxyBard here, back again to regale you with stories of deeds both great and grave. Wednesdays are now Community Day. Every story told will be taken from members on the FoxyBard Community Discord server, where you can join in and share stories of your own. They might even be featured in a future Community Day. Don't use Discord? That's okay. Stories from comments on these videos will also have the chance to be included. But with all of that out of the way, have a seat around the fire with me and we'll dig into these stories of role-playing. Our first Discord story is a pretty short one, detailing how someone faked selling a friend into slavery to mess with the criminals in the city. All guards are bad, except for when you can harness them for your own means. This one is a bit not safe for work due to mentions of slavery, so keep that in mind. Hello everyone! I have a great story for you all. This tale is how me and another player pulled off a daring heist at level 1. This is a very short story. Allow me to set the scene. Imagine the seediest, the darkest place underneath the city. Illegal goods flow through here like a river by a city. It's a hellhole in every sense of the word. I was a human wizard, and my friend was an Air Genasi monk, I think. Details are extremely hazy. I was observing the area and guard presence wasn't that thick. That, and I saw a guy was selling slaves, which me being as chaotic as Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, decided we were going to rob this foxhole for what it was worth. I came up with a genius plan, but checked with Genasi first to see if they were cool with it, and they were, which made me froth at the mouth with excitement. I think that's called rabies. Here was the plan. I tied her up with rope and sold her off as a slave, then left the market like nothing happened. Informed the guard what's happening and where it is, go back there and free my accomplice whilst under the effect of a disguise self spell, taking on the form of a guard, then confiscate the illegal goods. It went very well. The guys at the black market didn't know what hit them, and it was glorious. We made off with a lot of gold. However, the guards quickly caught on to our scheme, and we had to leg it. That is how we not only shut a slaver's business down, but pulled out one hell of a heist. They went with my suggestion to call it Operation Black Market Crash, which was a pun on the phrase, stock market crash. That is all, everyone. Take care. A successful heist. There were only about 1 million ways that could have gone poorly, so it's good that the rest of the party was on it. I will always approve of subverting the guards to accomplish your objectives and make your own money. Rules are made to be broken anyway. 3 cheers for our brave criminal masterminds. Our second Discord story is about the best use of Horny Bard I've ever heard of. Not only was this channeling the powers of seduction for good, but it almost turned out not quite like the Bard expected. Trust me, you'll want to take notes on this one. Definitely not safe for work, for lots of mentions of implied sexual acts and intentions. My introduction to D&D was with a group of friends playing Storm King's Thunder, with myself joining mid-campaign at 5th level. I took on the role of a Vengeance Paladin in service to the Harpers, which the DM used as a segue to getting the PCs back on track with the main quest after levels of sidetracking. Each player in our party of 5 was a delight, but for the purpose of this story, the only relevant players are myself and the woman of this story, Velda. Now, Velda and her player deserve an elaboration. Her player was essentially the comedian of an already comical group, often speaking in absurdities for the sake of making their friends laugh. One such point of humor was horniness, for though they are asexual, they think about sex with the same humor and absurdity as a good joke. Much of their personality funneled into Velda, a chaotic good bard monk multiclass. They described her as a foolhardy herbo, a joke among the group being that what made them chaotic good and not chaotic neutral was how her shenanigans helped the party in a failing upwards sort of way. The DM had revamped the campaign to visit each giant leader from lowest to highest in their caste system, starting off with the hill giants, and so, on my second session, the party was sent to deal with the local hill giant chiefess, who was casting out the tribe's women so that all the men could bring her more food. Hill giants measure their power in their weight, and her current feast was ransacking the village side. Tension was brewing as we entered the hill giant camp, the throne room lined with guards at every step. Chief Guh, a mountain of a giant that towered over us, demanded to know our business here while threatening us with being eaten. A full-on fight was hopeless, and we, as a party, were stumbling to come up with a way out of this. Except Velda, whose player was laughing like a devil out of hell. "I want to seduce Chief Guh with a dance." We were dumbfounded for a moment, stunned, then burst into laughter at the nonsense of what had become our quest. Being a bard, Velda had no issue rolling high, and with my paladin knowing giant, the DM granted advantage as the player described the dance. It slowly dawned on us that they had Velda dancing like Peter Parker from the infamous dance scene in Spider-Man 3. Oh my god, that's amazing. The DM rolls insight for Chief Guh, and by the grace of all ridiculousness in the universe, he rolled a 1. If we weren't cackling already, we were now. The DM described Guh as mesmerized by this dancing fool, while I translated her intentions of romance. Chief Guh had ordered all but one of the guards to leave the premises, as well as the party, save for Velda. It quickly became clear that Guh wished for privacy while our monk, entertained her. The party would need to find a way back into the throne room before Velda's spider dance was through, and to buy us time, Velda included the world's slowest striptease. She had only removed her arm wrappings after a half hour of real time of the party bumbling through ideas to get her from the dungeons below back upstairs. One failed climb and a wasted casting of fly later, it only then occurred to us that no one was guarding the exit to the camp or the entrance to the throne room. Partly relieved, partly ashamed that it took us this long to realize, Velda's player half-laughingly begged us to get her out of this already. One shameful exit and relatively low stealth roll later, the party had ambushed Chief Guh as Velda was just beginning to undo her leggings. A battle ensued with a hill giant grunt dead and Chief Guh murdered upon her own throne. Her last words before my paladin finished her off with a smite were a gargled, "My love! Why?" We ended the session soon after, and by then, I already knew I wanted to see what other absurdities this group could come up with. We've long since finished the campaign and still play to this day. I love this story for a lot of reasons, be it the ace player pulling off a better Horny Bard than I've ever seen, the genius of the paladin translator for bardic shenanigans, or the party not realizing that they could just walk into the tent. I think everyone performed admirably, and I can only imagine the deer-in-the-headlights look of Velda when Guh decided she wanted her for, entertainment! Please, YouTube, it's just entertainment, it's not anything else. And that ends my first community day. Thank you so much to all of the members of the FoxyBard Discord server for all of the love, the encouragement, and of course, the great stories. If you'd like to take part yourself, you can find the link down in the description below, along with all my other socials. All one of them. I don't use a lot of social media, you guys, it's fine. But of course, the time comes once again to help me defeat the algorithm monster. How can you join the fight? Well, you already have all of your weapons at your disposal. A like, a subscribe, a comment, and especially sharing the video to your friends. please let me know in those comments what you thought about the video and the stories. If you have thoughts on the Community Day as well, I'd love to hear them. And, of course, feel free to share stories of your own. All kinds of stories are welcome around the fire. Now, I did tell some people in my server that at 250 subscribers, I would release a blooper video. But then I grew way faster than I thought I was going to, and I do not have remotely enough content for it. So instead, we're going to do that video at 500 subscribers, and I'll be sure to save more of my funny or embarrassing takes. But that will do it for today. Thank you for listening, brave adventurers. Let's douse the fire and get back to our own adventures. I think that's called rabies.